Welcome to web conference number 2 for EDIT 3318. Up in the top right hand corner you will see the link to access this presentation. Be sure you pause the video or take a snip of that just so that you can access that piece. You'll want to follow along. Okay, welcome to section 70 and 77. Those are my classes for Mrs. Tickle. Section 79 for Ms. Mitchell, Section 73 and 76 for Ms. Scott, and Section 80 for Ms. Matthews. Okay, we're first going to talk about the A&E Integrated Lesson Plan. On this plan, you want to be sure that you have approval to teach before you record your lesson. Both of your plans, the preliminary and the A&E, must be recorded and approval given before you can teach them. Okay? Make sure that you check the TAP indicators for the rock solid teaching and submit all of your components to Blackboard. This recording is 20 minutes only. Here are those rock solid teaching pieces, the descriptors. You are going to actually tag all of the descriptors or have them all present in your lesson. And if you tag them, then we find them really easily. So presenting instructional content, questioning, and technology. Be sure that you take care of those, okay? Tagging protocol, you'll tag the piece where it is PIC or Q for questioning or T for technology. Use a specific piece of the descriptor. Okay, so for example, it might be Q, teacher questions are varied, ... And I would know that it was that one, okay, and then you tell me how you met it in your lesson, okay? All right, Module 5, compare SAMR and TPACK. You're going to explore the SAMR model and the TPACK model for technology integration. Choose an SE, a student expectation in your grade and content area. You're going to go through the SAMR model and think how you could integrate technology with the SE you've chosen. You're going to create 4 activities that move up the SAMR model, okay? Here is an example. I'm going to go on one more page just so you can see the template and we'll come back. Here is that template: substitution, augmentation, modification, redefinition. Okay, substitution involves doing the same thing without technology as you would do with it, just substituting it, okay? Here is where you put your text into your A-text, and then here are those steps for that activity. Augmentation, okay? The task is not changed, but your technology and the use of the technology are incorporated and it takes it up a notch. Modification takes it up even more. It's significantly changed. Redefinition, whatever you're doing is inconceivable without the technology. Okay, so take a moment, plan this out, and go through the SAMR model with your activities. Be sure that you check the rubrics. Here is the rubric for that SAMR and TPACK. Okay, be sure you check formatting, your content, and then each one of those activities that you're integrating, each one of those, it counts for 2 points and must have all of these pieces included in it. Okay? All right, Module 6, this is a screencast. You need to create an instructional video about a technology tool. Any tech tool is welcome, but the content should be educational and of use in your classroom. So make sure that the task that you pick, you can take your audience from start to finish in your 3 to 5 minute video. So think carefully about that. Make sure you have a hook. Introduce yourself and what the title is. Have a comment for 5 to 10 seconds that explains your purpose. Whatever we see on the screen must be in good resolution. Okay, it's a great idea to have a storyboard or a script to follow what you want your audience to know. and what you want them to do after viewing. Okay, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is part of the rubric. Make sure that everything is paced appropriately. Don't go super fast through the beginning and then go really slow at the end. Kind of pace it appropriate for what your task is. Make sure you rehearse it. Make sure your voice is expressive and you don't have a lot of background noise. Okay, so record in a quiet place. We need to hear you or see you or both, because we need to know that it is you with your voice. There's also a way, if you have a webcam, there's a way to do picture-in-picture with Screencastify. That it would be amazing. So then we get the best of both worlds. Okay, make sure your grammar usage is correct and that you have a closing comment that summarizes what you taught. You can store it in Google Drive or you can publish it to YouTube. Okay, so if you store it in Google Drive, make sure you make it anyone can view, and you share the link with your instructor, as well as putting that link in Blackboard. Same goes with YouTube. Make sure that it is not private and that we can view it. As with anything, you must put the copyright information at the end. So have it on a slide and show it at the end. Think about these things. Go through and read these. They pretty much kind of reiterate what we've already said. Probably the most or the biggest piece of advice would be to gather your URLs and images before you begin. So have all of that stuff kind of lined up for you so that you are ready to work when you have it together. Here is your rubric for the screencast. Over here, you want to be on this exemplary side. All of those pieces are things that we talked about. Okay, Module 7. Module 7, you have a choice. You can complete either a station rotation model lesson plan, or you can create a flipped lesson plan. Okay, the station rotation talks about online instruction, small group instruction, teacher-led instruction. Okay, you'll want to make sure that you watch or listen to all of the pieces in the module that explain that to you. Here is an example of what one might look like. Notice you have everything is the same format, the same text, pieces are bolded here. You've got the TA text, the regular content text. And then you have the process. The process walks you through exactly step by step what you're going to do. There's 12 steps in this, and that's okay, because if that's what it takes to walk through the steps for that lesson, then that is wonderful. Your product is what finishes, what happens at the end, what do the students have, okay, to share, okay? So that would be your product. So it is a 3P, purpose, process, and product. The biggest piece of advice I can give you on this one is to make sure that you have your formatting consistent and that you go through the amount of steps actually to complete the task. Okay, so assume that your audience knows nothing and that you need to tell them how to do each thing and be very detailed. Okay, that is a 3P. Here is the 3P template that you would use. You have access to this in the module. I'm going to show you really quickly what the rubric looks like. Here's the rubric for the 3P lesson plan. You're going to head over to this side right here to exemplary. You've got font, writing mechanics, but you will have 4 stations. So notice it says first station template. So you will have 4 copies, 4 things to turn in of that same plan if you do the 3P. Okay, so each one of them needs to have these pieces: the purpose, the process, and the product. Okay, so making sure you have that in that lesson plan. If you decide to choose the other option, that is the flipped learning lesson plan. Here is an example of that. It is a very detailed, specific plan. Okay, you've got learning resources at home and they are all linked. You've got learning activities at home and everything is linked. You've got classroom activities and what the students would do in the classroom. And then you would have your assessment. So everything in here is very detailed. Okay, here is what the rubric would look like for that flipped lesson plan. Again, you're going to head to that right side. You've got alignment, objectives, and writing. But then down here, here's resources 2 points, activities 2 points, assessment 2 points. So all of these pieces that are shown on the right side here in that rubric, you want to make sure that you have those and that you meet those requirements. That is what we grade from. Okay, that is on the flipped lesson plan. All right, back to the module. Here is what that plan template looks like. Okay, Module 8 is a mobile learning piece. Mobile devices and applications are used in every classroom. So there are 12 options that you can use to explore. You're going to try at least 3 of the educational or assessment mobile apps, and you're going to complete the mobile learning report. Include all of these pieces, iTunes rating, description, app content check, all of these pieces need to be included on each one. Okay, so let's take a look at that mobile learning report. So here would be the rubric for that. So let's look at that really quickly and then we'll go look at that. Here is the rubric. Okay, each one has the name and the title. You've got the app description, you've got the ratings, and you've got the content checklist piece. All right, let me find that. Here is that mobile learning report. Okay, notice you have the title here, the title of the app, the grade level of the app, the curriculum area of the app. You've got the image, the URL, and that it's linked. Here is that content checklist. You have to actually go through and look at the app to be able to answer all of those questions. Here is the rating. Okay, this links you and tells you what those ratings are. And then here is where it is on the SAMR model. If students used it, what do they have to do in that app? And where does it fall on the SAMR model? And then at the bottom, here's your 2 to 3 sentence description of it. Okay, that is your mobile learning report. Now remember, you're going to try 3 different apps. So you will have 3 of those documents assessing apps. Okay. All right, last module, Module 9 is the website. Word of caution here, if you are using students' pictures, make sure that you have permission and do not use full face views, shoot them from behind. If you're using Google Sites, you're going to go to sites.google.com to /new to create, and you are using Google Sites. You don't have an alternative in this class, in this session. You will use Google Sites. Okay, so in Google Sites, you're going to have 5 pages, a home, an about me, a resources, contact information. Okay, all of these pieces are easy in Google Sites. Make sure you read through what the rubric is asking for. You know, the about me, you want a professional picture. Announcements need to be in blog style. Here's some more pieces here. Resources should have a total of 6 resources, 3 your websites or articles, 3 your YouTube videos. Okay, make sure you hyperlink the URL address to the name of the resource rather than copying and pasting the URL itself. Embed the videos. We definitely want you to do that. Okay, and make sure everyone, all of your images have good resolution. You want to publish the site so that anyone on the web can view. here is a link to an example site. So on this 5th grade teacher site, you would have this home page that kind of says welcome, talks about it, has a picture, has a Voki, and down here it has the resources. So this would be the Voki. So she's going to talk. Not sure if you can hear that, but she is speaking. Okay, you could create that if you want. Make sure on each one of them that you have the resources on the bottom of each page. The About Me section, okay, has a professional picture, has maybe some things about you, as well as that copyright piece. You want the announcements page. Make sure you've got the clip art, the resources. Remember we said 3 videos at least. There's extra here. There's some games, and then there's links for Chromebooks. There's a context page, an assignments page, and a student gallery page. So this is your example. This is an exemplary, what an exemplary site would look like. Okay? All right. I think we have come to the end of our information tonight. This web conference, you will actually see it within a Google form for your attendance. And at the bottom, if you have any questions over any of the material, please fill that out and we will look at that and we will get back to you. Make sure you include your name in the Google form, as well as your email. Thank you for watching. If we can help you in any way, please let us know.